My God, this is pointless with a camera that sucks, and I don't have the energy to get it in the sun. I'm tired of people staring at me, and this sucks. It's really pissing me off that I was right. That the thing people said was God was the devil, that the thing people said was right was wrong, that the thing people said was the truth was a lie. And I saw it really clearly. I saw that people are crazy, unconscious, reactionary, zealous, populist imbeciles who think they're doing a good thing when they decide in Germany to just start rounding up all the Jews and killing them. Gee, we know how we can solve some shit is let's just kill the bad people. But since we don't know right from wrong, and since we're tribalistic animals that just do whatever the crowd does, we do what the crowd does. And when the crowd tells us that crazy shit is the right thing and it's what we want to do anyways, we do it. And people don't get that. People don't get that their version of God is the devil and that this version of God produced the Holocaust by people that thought that they were Christians and doing the right thing. And we're getting ready to do it again. So at some point, I'm like, my idea of God was a lie, and I'm yelling at God, but there's a level on which God is still real, and I'm producing nothing good by doing this and would like to make the situation better. And so I'm saying, please, God, can you empower me to not be too paralyzed to act, something that's been the case my whole life. I've been too sick to take care of myself since I was 3. That's right. At 3, I was going, well, I'm trapped with these crazy people. How am I going to take care of myself when the devil is crushing and asphyxiating me, terrorizing me, and I'm trapped with crazy, malignant narcissists? My Jewish parents, the Catholic neighbors, everyone I meet. Here's what we did in our culture. We were these douchey conservatives in the 50s, and apparently this town is caught in the 50s, and they literally think they're the 50s, and they're like, hey, what are you doing in our town? I have Dennis the Menace's dad's haircut, and I think Norman Rockwell's a real person, and hey there, hey. Yeah, but you know what? The 50s never existed for people like me. I never was white as you. I never was as right as you. I never was all Christy. I was Jewish and dirty and unkempt. I was a hippie kid and you were judging me, and this thing never existed. Well, but it still exists for these people because it's the year 2019 and there's beautiful nature and it's idyllic and there's kids of all ages, 7 to 77, wandering around unattended. And I'm saying, gee, I think it's great that that's happening, but the Jewish mother in me is saying, why are you kids unattended? This is 2019 in America. This is not good. Oh, it's still the 50s for you. So then we got to the 60s. And the 60s was something that America did not understand because the 60s actually had soul. In the 50s, people were like, I don't understand soul. Please explain it to me. I'm an obtuse literalist. What is soul? Stop shaking your butthole. It's making me uncomfortable. Gosh, the crick in my neck is, hey, stop that. Right? But then the 70s came. And what was soul? What was brother? What was these strange people of a different color that we didn't know were in our country now became disco. Boom, 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 right? And then people went, oh, you mean sex? Oh, I understand sex. It's pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Oh. And then the 80s came and they said, what we really meant was money. Because we took soul, which we turned into rock and roll, which we turned into disco, which we turned into bullshit, which we turned into sanitized, corporatized crap, which we turned into gangster rap, which we turned into some shit to shove up your ass that is no longer music. It has been deconstructed to where it does not have any substantive amount of the 3 components of music: rhythm, melody, and harmony. There is no harmony. There is a rhythm, which is basically a thundering, war, thumping noise made by an invading army of aliens going to kill you. And there is very little melody, and it was stolen from a previous song and then looped over and over again. The sign we are a dead culture with a dead soul is that we cannot make art, we cannot make rock and roll. We are the culture that invented, and I believe it was true that we invented, did I get this right? Motherhood, apple pie, and Chevrolet, and rock and roll. Well, rock's dead. Personally, motherhood was overrated, but I see some people enjoying it from both sides of the experience. I do enjoy apple pie, but it ain't the be-all and the end-all. What was the last one? Chevrolet? Yeah, Corvette costs $150,000 and it looked cool and I can't afford one. This was bullshit and we didn't know it was bullshit, but what we said was, we don't understand soul. Oh, you mean money and sex? Well, we get that. Yeah, that's why the counterculture was a failure. because we took this amazing opportunity for spiritual and emotional growth and to evolve as a species and as a culture. And what we used it for was to sell you some shit that now, thank God, you can order sex like a pizza on the web. Everyone is atomized into these insular groups. All of their biases have been confirmed, and we have deconstructed democracy and created a nightmare. An insular, insidious, dystopian, dysfunctional nightmare that we don't know is real because we're busy going, hey, what are you doing in our town? Oh, and I'm going to order sex like a pizza. So by soul, you meant money and sex. No, we meant soul. Why don't you know what a soul is? Why don't you have a heart? What is your deal? Why are you such an obtuse, literalist imbecile? Oh, because it's the 50s. I live in a town. I'm homeless in a town where somehow John Muir, Norman Rockwell, Willie Nelson is big, and grandmoms dressed in purple, eyeballing me like Medusa, and I'm yelling, screw you, you old disrespectful bitch. Give me my blanket from the Rainbow Gathering 20 years ago. And why don't you know that just being old doesn't get you respect? George Carlin was right when he said, if your parents respect you, respect them. If they disrespect you, disrespect them back and get the fuck away. My whole problem can be explained by having very narcissistic parents ending up in a crazy narcissistic death cult that was sort of my parents projected onto God. And then basically I didn't get away because when the lady told the TED Talk that she met someone who knew her as a kid when she had a narcissistic mom, and the guy said, I'm amazed that girl survived because I thought she was either going to have to kill someone or herself to get out. But the lady gives the talk and she says the way to get out is to know your parents are evil and escape them. But what if that's your God now? Well, now you got to escape him, but now you don't know that and now you're screwed. Well, wake up and realize that. Okay, but I knew this was a fucked up reality and that I needed money, and I let the devil talk me out of having money because I didn't know you needed it to fight off an evil version of God in the form of, we're assholes and we don't know we're raping you, shut up, it's love. So somehow my crazy progressive Jewish mom and Don Trump and the Christians are the same asshole. Oh well, I hope never to come back to this planet. I was going to say maybe if I'm ever born again. And no, I'll just get it right now. I brought this religious dysfunction with me to many lifetimes, if that theory is true, which I do believe it is. And so we'll just stop it in this lifetime and then leave. Good. Awesome. Winning. Hello. Winning. Charlie Sheen, while I was doing this, became a sane person because he got HIV positive. He came down HIV positive, got clean and is sane and back with his celebrity dad. While I was sitting here losing my mind and having my crazy rich relatives not take my calls to make a movie in Hollywood, 2 of which were very well reviewed by a lawyer who's worth like $500 million, Charlie Sheen got seen. Go Charlie. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Later.